Hi everybody, this is Book S Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Marvel Legends Avengers Endgame Ronin figure. So before we take a look at Ronin, let's take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So first up, he comes with the left arm of Thanos, the one with the Infinity Gauntlet on it. And as you can see, I just about have Thanos built. I'm just using the alternate 10th anniversary head sculpt as a placeholder for now. So if you're wondering if that works, it does. It fits on the peg perfectly. So he comes with that. He comes with his two swords. One is a longer one. I was going to say katana, but it's more of a sword. And it has some pretty good sculpt detail to it. Even the handle has some good sculpt detail. At first I thought, since he comes with these, I thought maybe they linked and made a double-bladed sword, but no, they don't. But he comes with these two swords, and they are similar, though this one is shorter. Though the short one has that on it. I don't know what that is. It doesn't really look like it has been painted. It kind of looks burnt. But the short one has that on it. He has a sheath that you can store both of these in. I'm not sure if you're actually supposed to put both of them in, but both of them will fit. Let me see here. There. So you can fit both of them in there, but like I said, I'm not sure if that's supposed to fit both of them. Because if you put just one in it, then it fits just fine. The long one, I should say, it fits just fine. But if you put the short one in it, it just wobbles. And even when you put it down like that, then it continues just to sink further. So I just keep these in his hands. That's much easier. Oops, knocked his hood off. That's an irritating thing about this figure is the hood. I will get into that in just a second. Let me go ahead and put these in his hand. Now you do have to wedge them into his hands because his hands are really tight. And it does rub some of the paint on the handle off when you do that. So go ahead and put that in there. Oops, wrong way. There. There he is with both of his swords. And he comes with an alternate left hand that has throwing stars. And at first, from the promo pictures, I liked these. I thought it looked really awesome. But in person, I'm not a fan of them. Mainly because Hasbro didn't paint the throwing stars that well. They're still translucent. Because this is like a shimmery, translucent silver plastic to make it look, like a throwing effect. But Hasbro didn't paint all of the throwing stars, and some of them look clear too. They mainly just painted them in the center. So it could have been painted better, just like his hand could have been painted better. As you can see, there's a bunch of gold on it, and there's not supposed to be any gold on the top. There's supposed to be gold on the palm of his hand, but not on the outside there. So the paint apps on this one is pretty messy. So let's go ahead and just swap that back on there. So now, before we take a look at the head sculpt, I wanted to show why I have an issue with this hood. Now, mine constantly wants to fall off and shift, and that is very irritating. Plus, I just really don't like the hood on the figure. I don't think it looks great. I feel like Hasbro should have went the route like McFarlane did with their Walking Dead Morgan figure. Have a hole in his back, and have the hood peg in. That way it looks fine and stays. And then have an alternate where the hood's folded down, and you can peg that in too. So it would be two pieces, instead of just being one removable piece. But yeah, it does shift up and down a lot, and wants to fall off. Sometimes you can kind of force it down on his head a little bit, but even then, if you move it around very much, it'll still come off. But it's painted kind of good. I mean, right here it came out clean, but right here it really doesn't. Misses the mark. And this one kind of missed the mark too. That's the thing, a lot of the gold on this figure, especially right here on the shoulder of his jacket, you can see that a lot of black is showing through. So let's go ahead and take that off, which I think the figure looks a lot better without the hood. But taking a look at this head sculpt, it looks pretty good. I feel like the eyebrows could have been put on just a little bit better. Hasbro's getting better with their face print tech, but I think they should actually stick to painting the eyebrows on, because the eyebrows just look really spotty and really thin too. But the head sculpt looks really nice. And looking at the jacket, it has a texturing right here on the shoulder. And it has gold painted on it, but it's not painted on the greatest. As you can see, let me move this strap here. This is removable, by the way. As you can see, there's a lot of black right there where they didn't paint it on. And the gold missed its mark right there. And then the gold went over the mark right there. So that's one thing with this figure. The paint apps are 50-50 on it, honestly. Let's go ahead and put this back on. Now, I'm not a fan of this having a peg in it. I'd prefer it just to be all one solid piece and not removable. The paint apps on it aren't the greatest as well, as you can see. They didn't even paint all the gold on right there on the buckle right there. A lot of black is showing through, not a little bit. Now, right here on his belt buckle, around his waist, now, it really doesn't bother me, because it kind of looks like it has a black wash over it. But it's supposed to be all gold. It's not supposed to have black showing through. But it doesn't look bad, because it does kind of look like a wash. Now, for his sheath right here, that holds his sword, it shifts up and down a lot. And I tried making it tighter, going to the second hole right here. But then, if you do want to put the hood on, let's see, then it interferes with that, and it leans up on one side. So you can't do that. You're mainly supposed to just leave it right there. And it doesn't look that bad, but like I said, I don't like the holes right there. But he has gauntlets on his forearms, and the gold is all over the place on here. Like, look at that. That is way above where it should be. Also, it has some nice sculpting detail to it. It has a little bit of texturing and some battle damage to it. But man, the paint really missed its mark right there. He has a lot of sculpt detail to his jacket as well. But it's cast in all black, so, you know. Let's see about his left forearm right here. Now, these came out pretty good. I mean, it's a little shaky. The lines are a little wavy. But overall, the left side doesn't look bad. The right side is just way bad. Like, these aren't even supposed to be up here. They're supposed to be right here. And they're clear back here. And then there's his knee pads and his shin armor. And it looks like he has knives right here on his calves. Oh, no, not right there. Just right here. Looks like he has a knife right there. Would have been nice if that would have been removable. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's a knife because it looks like the handle of this. But it is not removable. It's all in piece. The shin armor didn't come out too bad. The lines are a little darker on this. The lines are brighter on his right leg than on his left leg. So, yeah, the paint apps on this could have been a lot better. It kind of just looks like they only put like one layer on because the black's showing through just a little bit. That's why it looks darker. And it looks like they put multiple layers on the right side because it's really bright and looks the way it should. So yeah, this figure, it definitely has some gripes. I really thought I would like it better than I did. But the paint apps are pretty bad, at least on mine. Especially right here on his, on the forearm right here. So now let's go over his articulation. He has a ball-jointed head that can only move back that far because of his jacket. Or I suppose maybe it's a tunic. Kind of looks like a jacket and a tunic. He can look down all the way. You can move his head side to side. As you can see, his sheath and the belt right here keep shifting up and down while I'm going over the articulation. He has an ab crunch that can't move back or down at all because of the jacket. It is hindered. You can swivel the waist though, so he does have a waist swivel. He has ball-jointed shoulders that can only move out that far. I feel like they should be able to move out a little farther than that. But as you can see, it mainly just does that when I try moving it. He has swivel at the bicep, double-jointed elbow, swivel at the wrist that can move side to side, and up and down. He has ball-jointed hips that can just about do a complete split. He can kick forward all the way. He can kick back slightly. He has swivel at the thigh, double jointed knee, swivel at the ankle that can move up and down, and an ankle rocker. So I feel like the articulation could have been better too, or they could have made this, well, the tunic here, or I've been calling it a jacket throughout this review, but I suppose it's more of a tunic. Either way, it's very soft at the bottom, so I feel like they could have made it just a tad bit softer, or, you know, just so you could get a little bit out of it. The way it is, you can't move it at all. And, you can unpeg it back here, but as you can see, there's no painted detail on or anything under this. So yeah, I feel like it could have been just a little bit better. The belt definitely annoys me, the hood annoys me, and the ab crunch annoys me. I saw the Leo Legendary did a hack where he cuts straight across right here above the belt, and then you had all the ab articulation, but I don't really want to cut this because I just got it, you know. I don't feel like cutting the tunic in half right there. So for some size comparisons, here he is next to Hawkeye, the Age of Ultron Hawkeye, and this figure is so weird. Like, the torso, the arms, the weird hips, this figure was just ugly. And if you were wondering if you can swap the head sculpts right here, you can, but they are very loose. Or it's very loose, I should say. See, the head just wobbles all around. Because the pegs, or the peg, is bigger on Hawkeye and smaller on Ronin. Which it does fit, but is very loose. So maybe if you could stick a cotton ball in the peg hole, that way it made it a little bit tighter, you could get it. So it'd take a little bit of modification, but it is possible if you wanted to do that. I read somewhere that the Target 2-pack head fits on it perfectly. It'll probably be a while before I get that one. Okay. Here he is next to Black Widow. The Infinity War Black Widow. Right now, I got another Infinity War Black Widow, and I'm making an in-game Black Widow, because the costumes seem similar. I know now that I bought an extra one to make into an in-game Widow, they're going to announce it. Because so far, the only one from in-game we have is in the Quantum suit. I don't know if they'll make her in her normal suit. Like I said, since I'm making a custom, they probably will. And finally, here he is next to Comic Ronin. And this is the variant Comic Ronin with the green armor. Honestly, it just depends on what colorist is coloring Ronin, because sometimes it's black and gold, and sometimes it's green and gold. But as you can see, this is what he was inspired by. This one looks more like a ninja. This one reminds me of someone, but I can't place who it is. Maybe it's Ninjak from Valiant Comics. I think that's who he reminds me of. This one, the comic version, looks more like a ninja, and this one kind of looks like Ninjak. So, overall, I feel like this figure could have been a little bit better. I still like it, but, you know, I feel like the ab crunch, they could have found a better way to include that into the figure, or just made this a softer plastic, or make it kind of like rubber. And the paint apps on mine are horrible. You know, they're very hit or miss. And the hood and the belt and the sheath that goes around his chest is really irritating. I feel like gluing it down, but I don't know if I want to do that, because if I glue it down up here, then the hood won't go on it, and you know, I want to be able to put the hood back on it. So I'm kind of torn. I don't want to say I don't like it, because I do like it, but there are definitely things about it that I don't like. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.